job is to create awareness of vision impairment, achieve full and complete access to those people socially and academically, establish and supervise resources and services offices which facilitate their academic life. At large, he's providing assistive technology devices and services, as well as coordinating the relationship between the professors and the people with disabilities. This is IPSAR, Center for Equal Learning Opportunities. What's happening here is going to be a kind of centerpiece. We're going to see ahead in the next 30 minutes complete vision of what's taking place here.
Thank you for visiting us, and actually I am very pleased to have you to see what makes me happy forever is to have the guys I used to work with is independent and has the opportunity to study, make researches through assistive technology. Actually, assistive technology plays an important large in the academic performance of people with visual impairment. Unfortunately, when I was a student, there's nothing about assistive technology in any university. When I am here, I am very proud to have such students like those students because they have their own enthusiasm and their capabilities are enhanced via assistive technology. Assistive technology plays an important part in their lives, not because they can use the computer, but in the same time they can study, make research. Instead of going to the library, they go to Google, Hasta Vista, many search engines request to get their data in order to have equal opportunity to make researches like their peers. In my days, I mean, in the era between 1993 and 1997, there is no such facilities. They now have the opportunity to work, to study, to go. They don't need to ask for assistant to go with them to the library.
It's a breaking ground, actually.
Yeah. It's now we are celebrating with the 6th year of this center since 2006 up till now. You know, it's a tremendous work. This is what we have because we don't teach them computer. We teach them how to use computer in their life. They now are able to take the exam independently. At my times, it was not like this. I have assistant, and maybe not specialized, or maybe has less grade like diploma or something like this, high school. But here he can read and write the exam and take the exam at the same time of their sighted peers. This is what is the achievement of such center. And
as successful and defying as you are, what special services that you provide them here?
Actually, we give them typing training in order to make sure that it's a basic training. Any student joined this faculty, I mean Faculty of Arts in Shams University, he has to take the typing course. And after that, we give him...
Then they are ready to take the challenge of their lives.
Yep, sure. Actually, they know how to use Microsoft Windows, basic idea about Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Word. After that, after we finish the first term, we give to the students who need, we give them English language, conversation, and internet in order to have the opportunity to surf the internet.
The story for you is straight ahead. Dr. Ahmed, you traveled to the United States for your master's in Pittsburgh University. Living independent in the States, how did you personally do that?
Yeah, actually, this based on the previous period, because here in Egypt, I faced a lot of obstacles. I faced a lot of success. I mean, it's not something sudden happened, but it has like a pavement period to do that. Actually, it was the first time to travel abroad alone, and it was the first time to travel with a plane. It was strange. It was terrific. It was fascinating. I mean, I can't express my emotions, my thoughts. I didn't think of this time before it happened. Actually, to be alone, to leave my family, to leave my wife, my mother, to leave my sister, to leave my friends, to leave my students, and to travel alone, it was very, complicated feelings. But what makes me continue?
This is why it's one of our big stories, actually.
Yeah, you know, my friend told me, why do you travel? You will travel alone. You don't know who will with you there. I asked him, I can't do withdraw from the competition and from this time. He told me, I can give you all the money you need. I told him, it's not the money. I asked him one question. Do you know when I am here, Allah is with me or not? He told me, is with you, although you are with us. I told him, Allah with me when I am with you. If I will be alone. What do you think? He told me, go ahead, and I think you will succeed if this concept you have in your mind. And I started my journey to the United States, and it was full of many.
It's faith again. It's the everlasting story.
Yes, and the life to lead life alone is something difficult. To make everything alone is, you know, there is a lot of facilities in the United States, but to have a friend to ask him about something is not.
I think your life was a mess.
Yeah. I tried to climb the mountain. Sometimes I failed in the exam. Sometimes I succeed. Sometimes you know, what happened there is, to me, I can't imagine how can I pass such period, because I went there to study different program other the one I need. It was about medical engineering. It's one of the
very difficult specialty.
Yes, but although I was excelling, but I told my professors I need to change my.
It's far apart from your ongoing job.
Yeah, it's far from, and actually, in US it's a very wealthy job. But here, when I come to Egypt, I can't complete my PhD because the blind cannot study scientific branches. Okay, but when I first started the special education and assistive technology program, I faced a lot of problems, such as the anatomy of the eye. I studied the anatomy and the physiology of the eye, and you know, I know the diseases which cause blindness and low vision. How can I read the prescription And the eyeglass test, you know, how can I make the evaluation of the clinical and functional evaluation of the eye, how to do this, because it's very complicated and most of the people get such information by picture, by visualization. How can I imagine such parts of the eye? This was very difficult, and I do understand one of my friends, he is a physician.
A story of hope and possibility, actually. A quick break and we'll be right back. Your objective was a must-win game.
Sure. Actually, I didn't think of withdrawal. Just to go ahead. Just to know what the people with disability have in USA and how can I bridge the gap between here and there. This is my dream, is to bridge the gap between the status quo here and the status quo there. They have all things they can do. The concept of dealing with people with disabilities is completely different. Here in Egypt, we have people with disabilities are problems. There, they know that people with disabilities have problems. Both of us wants to get rid of the problems. Here, they get rid of the problem by getting rid of the people with disabilities. But there, they see how can they give him visual aids, how can they give him them helping aids such as assistive technology and independent living aids, how they pave the streets, you know, this is the difference. They get rid of the problems which make the visually impaired, you know, is not able to live his life independently or with equal opportunity to learn and to live.
Yeah.
There is the difference in the concept. Both of people, I mean both of citizens have their own style of living. In USA, for example, they make a law, they draft a law in order to prohibit distinction for visually impaired or people with disabilities. They have to stop or to wait in the queue in order to get their needs. But when he go to the window in order to get his papers issued, he take all rights. He can have someone to fill him the questionnaire or read for him the prescription in the hospital. All facilities is there. But here we are you know, lovely people. If you have someone is good, he treats you good. If he is not, I think you have different treatment or different relationship, even in the public affairs, in the government. You know, it's no, there is no rule, there is no law to have it, to know what is my right. This is great difference between here and there.
Tell us what becomes a landmark decision in your life.
Is to choose to work in the field of disability, to leave my life, my academic life. I was reading for my master's in linguistics. By the way, it was about you know, I'm trying to memorize or to remember my the title of the thesis. It was about the coverage of Al-Aqsa Intifada in the Egyptian and the American newspaper. It was ideological study and discourse analysis to highlight the relationship between language and ideology. So to leave such speciality, and I was I think I was good at this speciality because I did my master's, but I didn't complete. I actually wrote about two chapters from the thesis, you know. So to leave the linguistics and the English language, it was decisive.
So moving and so powerful decision.
I think every day, in my new specialty, I am promoting spiritually and professionally. Every time, every day, every minute, because now I think
it was
I
a cornerstone to be integrated to the world of success.
Yeah, I am now distinguished specialist. I mean, I might be a good or excellent professor, but to be one of the fewest people who work in the vision disability, it's to me it's a good thing, because I am working with people. I am working with you know, people who are suffering all the time. I mean, not the visually impaired or the blind, but their families. Their families are very weak when they do not appreciate what kind of disability they have. And I try to facilitate or give them an example about this. Look.
Welcome back. We're still talking to him, Dr. Ahmed, and one of our big stories on this show. Okay.
Should I complete the story
Oh.
of the family?
Oh.
Okay. So, you know, I usually told the family I work with, if we are going to a journey to Holland, and Holland is famous for its nature sites, natural sites. And when we are in the plane, we found ourselves in Rome. You know, what is the difference? Rome is full of monuments, cultural sites. So, what should I do? To cry on the nature in Holland or Netherlands, or to enjoy what I am in and with cultural museums? This is what I'm trying to feel. If I cried on Amsterdam or Netherlands, I will lose both. Rome and Italy, I will not enjoy at all.
Others don't have others don't even have the opportunity to go to Holland or Netherlands.
Sure, this is what I mean. So if you have an infant with disability, is better than nothing. Your achievement with the infant with disability, you feel that you make not just achievement or something like I am working with my child, he is from X school or something like that. No, it's like your plant. It's growing every day, every week, every month, and when you have something happen, you feel satisfied. This is what I mean by this. So you have to enjoy with the infant, wherever or whenever or whatever disability.
Okay, we move ahead now to talk about the Ford Scholarship. I think this moves the issue forward in a very significant way.
Sure, because it's the start point for my specialty, for my life, new life. I mean, it's not just a specialty. I am living in working with people with disabilities. I am living and working with those families who have pain, you know. So Ford Foundation is a foundation based on the American law. They have equal opportunity to work, to study, to live, to anything you can imagine. Actually, when I first submitted my papers in order to get such a fellowship, I didn't think that I will be one of the chosen persons, because here in Egypt, actually, when I submit any resume for my career, they first accept my resume. When they know that I am blind, they told me, sorry, we don't have opportunity for you because of your blindness. So when I started, I asked them, do you exclude any people based on disabilities?
How did you do that?
With what? In Egypt or Ford?
In Ford and in Egypt.
Actually, my father told me that you have to concentrate on your job, and whenever you succeed, people will come to ask you, please come to
Will knock on your door
with us. So that makes my postgraduate studies in English language and in Germany, Japanese language, you know. So after that, I think when I submitted my papers to Ford, you know, something, they will not ask me, or they will not call me, but when they called me for the first time, hello, Mr. Amin, this is Soha Sharif, I mean her name very well, from Middle East. Can you come to in order to have an interview because you are selected to be one of the interviewees.
A great success.
It's not the final acceptance. It's
Yeah.
one of the
Not
procedures.
yet.
Yeah, it's one of the procedures. It's about 3 months after I submitted. You know, so I went to the interview. It was about 7 minutes. It was the fastest interviews I have ever in my life. 7 minutes. I asked them. They asked me about 5 questions, and I am answering, and I am very enthusiastic and persistent in order to answer. When they said to me, "Okay, this is enough," I told them, "This is enough." They told me, "Yes, this is enough." Okay, so after 5 months, I found them told me, "You are accepted to you will be sponsored." From here,
Well, the most surprising thing, I
Yeah.
think,
here starts the difference.
the scholarship at your fingertips.
Yeah. The difference between the Western mind and the Egyptian mind. I don't blame the Egyptian mind, but this is reality. I'm sorry. Because they started, what kind of disability you have? I have visual impairment. What do you need? I need whether tapes or electronic soft copies of the material. They started to take care of me from the very beginning. And this makes me very happy. And I started working with them well. I took my GRE and TOEFL, international TOEFL exam. Although I faced some obstacles, but not from Ford, but from the ETS, which sponsored the TOEFL and GRE exams, because somehow there was a problem. So, you know, I don't want to talk about this experience because it was very bad. Because
What do you think about this period?
this period is transitional period in my life between to be or not to be.